Hi, it's Colette. Welcome to my channel, and this is the weekly tarot card for the week commencing Monday, the 8th of January 2018, and it's the Five of Wands. Beautiful card in Rorig deck as usual. It says the word strive on it. It's got the visuals of sort of under the earth coming up and a hand breaking through, punching its way through. And I just love it because it's the energy about it is pushing through any adversity. It's really about having the energy and fire to make things happen and not accept a step backwards and not accept the status quo. And because of that, it's actually a very good card for going into January, because we've got this sense of sometimes after the first week in January, you know, the first week we're sort of getting back to work maybe, and we're sort of tired after festivities and we're fed up with all the rich food, etc., and we're just wanting to get back to some normality. Isn't it funny the way that we all are desperate for solstice, Christmas and New Year, and the tree up and the house is all bright and it's wonderful and we see so many people and it's all great, and then towards the end of it we're starting to get weary and looking for some sort of routine again, looking for some sort of calm again, maybe kids back at school, etc. And that's the way of life, isn't it? It's all ups and downs, but sometimes too much of a good thing isn't that good for you either. So, you know, the 8th onwards in January, you've been through maybe the week where you've had your New Year celebrations and the trees come down and you're back to normality. And rather than having a very low cards influence, we've actually got quite a good one that's, you know, some of the other decks, it's not the best card. It can be about battles, it can be about feeling as though you have to be bolshy to get through things. But in the Rorig, it's this aspect of pushing through, finding a way forward. So in general terms, in the week ahead, you can expect that there could be issues you've got to work with, there could be wee problems, but a good degree of energy, of push, of determination and sheer bolshiness behind you to make things happen and to get you through and into this new time of routine. It's a good card all round. As I say, sometimes the negative side is that we have to push, that we're feeling we have to find the energy. But normally in Rorig deck, this card works out well, particularly for myself. I often, when I get it out, if I've thought, should I do that? Should I strive towards that? This card says yes, okay? So I talked about why I don't do New Year's resolutions, and this card is a card of going for things. But remember, that's not like going for things, setting yourself up for things that are too much. This is about striving with the energy you've got to make the breakthroughs you can. And if you look at it that way, it actually becomes a very functionally good and positive card. Now, if we look at it in career, again, we've got the aspect of pushing through. You could find that things change in career. You may be back at work and you get the inkling that if you just push a wee bit more or go for something, that things could change for the better. And it's sometimes when you're back at work, you've maybe had a week where you're like, you know, I'm just not that happy here, or I'm not happy with the way things are being done. And when this card is out, particularly it is a Wands card, it can affect career majorly. It's about realising that if you just punch forth a wee bit, if you have determination to grab for something, to put your hand up, even for a bit of help or mentoring, that you will break through with career. Sometimes you might not break through that week, but you actually will see something come from it, normally within 2 to 3 months maximum. And that's why it's such a good card at this time of year. So in career, remember, nothing is out with your grasp. go for it if you want. Push through anything that isn't suiting you. And sometimes, if you're maybe stuck in a job that you just have to go on with, this card will just give you enough energy and determination to get through the week. Now, if we look at it for health, again, the aspect of the card is sort of pushing through another wee battle. You might have a hospital appointment you have to go to. You might have blood tests that need to be done. You might have things to do that by getting results are pushing you towards understanding a disease process, and it's something that you just have to do, even if you don't feel like it. It's important in health to realise that if you have the option and you've been asked to maybe investigate certain things about your health and you've been given the opportunity to, that you don't let things like that go away, that you grasp them, and therefore you're taking more control of your health. One aspect I do use of this card is you can see there's a lot of sort of fiery energy below the surface there, and I use this card as an indication that the person will have heartburn or a fiery belly or even an ulcer. So I know it looks kind of mad, but that's what I get from it. And if you have been overdoing it, Christmas and New Year, you may well find that you've got a wee bit of an upset tummy, so it's time to look after your stomach. Maybe dry January might be a good idea as well. So for health, it's about sort of taking control back of your health and watching your abdomen and your belly area. In love, if you're looking for a partner, maybe you've met someone and you're just not sure how it's going to go, this is the time to push forward. Because if you push forward and you're not getting the response back, then you go, okay, it's not working, it's not for me. Sometimes we wait and wait and wait to see how a relationship will develop. This card says, push forward, and if you're not getting the response you like, ditch it. Leave room for the next person to come along. And if you're in a long-term relationship, it's actually about pushing forward for both of you. Sometimes we have dreams as a couple that we would like to move forward with, but maybe one person has the strength in the week ahead that the other person doesn't. One person may have the health that the other person doesn't. One person may have the creative ideas that the other person doesn't, and that won't always be the way. But if you are the person this week that has got the energy, the strength and the capability in your partnership, then use it, and use it for both of you. So it's a time for grasping at things you want for your partnership, and it normally works very, very well. Where money's concerned, it's very much just about grasping, taking control of your finances and grasping ways to make things better. You can find with this card that you can actually enjoy being a wee bit more frugal, because you know that you're doing it for a reason. If you look at money and you're saying, oh my goodness, Christmas, New Year, I'm heading into the red, or I'm in the red, this card can allow you to do something about it, even if it's just a little. So use it for that. So again, as you're moving into the week commencing the 8th of January, just look at this card. It's very special. It's, is the main aspect is the hand that is certainly pushing through. Sometimes, this card gives you the joy of pushing through for someone else. Sometimes if we're a wee bit low, it's dark out there, it's cold, we get very focused kind of on ourselves. But this card can allow you to do things that will help other people. It can allow you to help fight someone else's battle. You could be involved with a charity with this card, fighting for someone that maybe can't fight for themselves. You could look at a family member that maybe needs help, whether that's with authorities, whether it's with their health, and you could be the one that pushes through on their behalf. And that's another lovely side of this card. Oh yeah, I've decided I'm meant to be promoting my books more this year. So Tarot Novice to Pro in One Book is my book. If you like how I read the tarot, the links are, well, I don't have links actually. It's on Amazon and all good sellers basically, and it's been out for 6 years now. 7 years? No. Yeah, 6, and I'm still very proud of it. And that gives you the basics of the tarot in a practical way, the way I read the tarot. So let's hope that you get something achieved in the week ahead, whether it's to do with career, whether it's to do with relationship or health or finances, and even spiritually. Maybe it's time to push forth. Maybe it's time to take that extra time to donate your energy to your spirituality. Time to sit and say what those crystals mean to you. It can be a time to get your ideas out there, you know. How about writing things down, journaling, pushing through any spiritual barriers, maybe even any fears that are holding you back, so that you can come out the other side knowing that you push through and you've come out and you're successful with what you need to do. So many blessings. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment on what you think about the card, and I'll see you next week for next week's weekly tarot card. Many blessings now. Bye.